Production in action.
We didn't finish Bully Hunter. Where were we?
Environment different. First, gamers keep their identity hidden, right? People say and do things online that they only think about in real life. And for that reason, they actually don't feel the consequence of their words or of their actions, right?
True.
Also, you don't get feedback from the person that you're harassing. If I were to say something horrible to you, I would see your face and I would feel terrible, right? Empathy is more difficult online for that reason. You know, second, women are often viewed as sexual objects online. I mean,
not to me.
Games are really catering towards men's fantasies of being dominant, in control, and it's not really taking in the female perspective. And when the game is really playing up these ideas, it also flows into the communication between gamers and these female gamers.
Well, and building off that, you know, none of this happens in a bubble, right? So we live and have lived for thousands of years in a patriarchal culture, which means we've had spaces that have been able to be male-dominated spaces where men have set the terms and created the community. And that's what the online gaming world has been. And so what you see with the movement and the bringing in of female gamers is the same kind of pushback that other communities have experienced. You know, you think about politics or sports or the fields of science and math. Those female trailblazers have faced that pushback. And what we're seeing is just the online manifestation of what happens when you take something old and transform it to address those issues directly rather than it coming out sideways in this kind of behavior.
And it takes real strength to be able to take a different stance. Like when you poke your head out, I mean, like you've been doing, like that's when the hammers come, right? But I think there's different ways to relate besides just hammer and nail. Like men can show a lot of power by taking responsibility for their actions, right? For actually caring for other people, by trying to protect rather than harming. Like there's actually a lot of opportunity for men.
The heart of it is that trash talk is really about like the thrill of the game. The trash talk is about I'm elevating my
pink light 20, something we need to show the audience right now.
Conversely, putting you down. So that's one of the elements of it.
Oh, Mr. Lane, I'm Dr. Solomon. I'm so sorry to interrupt, but there is something we need to show the audience right now. In just a second here, the lights have come down, and that is a signal for a bully hunt. Now let's see exactly how a bully hunt works. This is our casual gamer, Pink Light 23, who has been harassed in-game. That's her, but let's cut to her feed. So we can see right now that we're in Pink Light 23's game. She's doing what she loves, playing CSGO.
You want to get raped, bitch?
Jesus God.
I know where you live. I can't handle how big her tits are. You want me to rape you?
Now, that's exactly the toxic behavior we're fighting against here. Now, let's see how she used our global tool to call a bully hunter. Play that, please. So Pink Light 23 is in-game. What she's going to do is call a bully hunter with our tool. She's doing it right now. She just logged onto our site and logged in with her Steam account and is now locating a bully hunter. Now let's see which bully hunter was called.
My turn to play Timber.
So Pink Light 23 called the bully hunter. Now let's go back to her game and see how the bully hunter was called. So cut to that, please. Now we have Pink Light
Monk level 3
game here, and if you look in the bottom left-hand corner, Bully Hunter 03 has entered the game. Now Bully Hunter 03 is in, and she's going to ask our Pink Light 23 to name the harasser. There it is. And now we know the harasser and the hunt is on. Now let's see it from Bully Hunter 03 perspective. Cut to that, please. Now we're following Bully Hunter 03 as she pursues the bully. That's Pink Light 23 over there in the game. And Bully Hunter 03 is moving fast. Oh, and there's a kill and a double kill. Done excellently.
You might want to abandon.
Card here for Bully Hunters in the bottom corner. Done excellent.
Harassment is not a game.
And now we have the calling card
Yikes.
here for Bully Hunters in the bottom corner.
Done
excellently. And now we have the
You're gonna tell your mom.
calling card here for Bully Hunters in the bottom corner. Bully Hunter harassment is not a game. Now, if you're just joining us, this is the first.
This is so. How does this solve the problem? This is so weird. He died, and then what happens? He respawns, and then you just keep playing.
Who hunts the bully hunters, though?
This is personal.
I'm bullying next.
The fuck is that range? Alright, do the roll. Let's do a quick roll.
No.
Hi, let's do it.
Do a quick roll. We can't, sadly in Dota, you can't call in the bully hunter.
Lady Thatcher.
Nice
Oh,
roll.
hell no. It keeps going. It never stops. Oh, it stopped.
Call in a bully
Nice
hunter.
knowing you, bro.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Bully Hunters Live. We've just seen a bully hunt, and we're going to take a minute to talk to our casual gamer, Pinklight23, about her experience. Now follow me.
Pink light.
Sorry to interrupt you there. What's your name?
My name is Gretchen.
Gretchen, thank you so much for joining us. Now, it was very hard to watch that harassment. As a female gamer, do you experience a lot of in-game harassment?
Oh, absolutely.
And what kind of forms does that take?
Anywhere from in-game trash talk, which can be normal, but sometimes it gets pretty sexual and sounds pretty dangerous when they start threatening you, and then the DMs start coming. So that starts getting pretty scary.
Right, so that sort of like violent language that's being used, how does that affect you as a gamer?
Sometimes in-game, when it's trash talk, it's not a big deal, but when it starts feeling more personal, getting into DMs, and you start getting threats like they're going to come find you, or they know where you are, some of that stuff is trash talk, but it gets pretty scary when they start harassing you nonstop and those DMs won't stop coming.
Right, and do you feel like that kind of dissuades you from continuing to play?
There are times where it gets pretty tough,
Yeah.
and you just want to take a break.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for sharing. It's very brave of you to be here today. Back to you, Natalie.
Very brave.
All right, well, thank you for your patience. If you've just tuned in, we're talking to Kevin Lanham and Dr. Alexandra Solomon. You were talking about harassment in gaming, and you're about to answer one of our Facebook comments. It was about how to differentiate trash talk from harassment.
I wonder what her armpits
First
sound
point
like.
I was thinking about is it's but
Trash
Yes.
talk from harassment.
yeah. Well, the first point I was thinking about is it's about the intention. So the intention of trash talk is really just kind of elevating my play, but not at the expense of you. So the intention is to kind of bring myself more intentionally into the game, be more competitive, like bring my edge up, but not at the expense of bringing you down. Where the intention of harassment really is to kind of make the other person, the person at the receiving end of it, feel diminished, feel less than, and
But
I
that's
feel
not what I
more
do.
powerful at your expense. So that's one distinction. Another distinction I think is helpful is sort of a being versus doing distinction. So trash talk is about doing. It's about me talking about my play and my skill versus your skill. It's a doing. Versus harassment is about being. If I'm talking about your sex, sexual orientation, gender, race, all of that, it's really about who you are as a person and diminishing you as a person. And you can't, there's nothing we can change about who we are. We can sort of use the competitive environment to sort of push ourselves forward, but harassment really makes the person on the receiving end feel less than and inferior. And the problem, as Kevin was saying earlier about the online community, is you don't have that feedback loop the way that you would when you were playing side by side, and I could cue to you, like, dude, like that was a bit too much, like tone it down, which is why what's happening tonight is so important. It's we're providing that feedback loop in the online world.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for your time. Mr. Lanham and Dr. Solomon, we really appreciate it. And now back to Tien.
Thanks.
As of now, our new global tool works on CSGO, which is used by 25 million gamers. CSGO is just a start with this tool. But for gamers experiencing harassment in any game, there's a Bully Hunter field guide. Now, this will help every gamer fight against sexual harassment in gaming. And you will find a field guide with every special edition headset. You can also download it at bullyhunters.org. Now, let's see what it looks like inside. Now, in this field guide, you will understand the difference between trash talk and harassment. And you'll learn how to deal with it. Natalie?
All right. Now we have with us Paloma Delgado of the National Organization for Women, or NOW. Paloma, please join me. This is the field guide, by the way. It's pretty cool. It's got a lot of interesting stuff in here. Hi, Paloma. So, while you get settled here, I just want to ask you, this initiative resonates with a lot of other larger cultural movements happening around the world right now. So can you tell us a little bit more about those and why this might be important for them?
Absolutely. First of all, we need to acknowledge the fact that none of us exist in a bubble. We're a part of and affected by cultural movements, even if we're not specifically part of that group. In this case, we want to create a cultural movement that tells women that the harassment they face online and offline is completely unacceptable. As activists, and more importantly, as people who just care about half of the population, it's extremely important that we make sure women feel validated and that they're important.
I wonder what her armpit smells like.
It's also extremely important that we let men know and would-be harassers know that this sort of behavior is completely unacceptable. I feel like sometimes we place a little bit too much emphasis on the victim to stave off harassment as opposed to the aggressors. Bottom line is that it is on the aggressors, on the people initiating that harassment, to choose respect over hostility, and that's the way these things get solved.
Yeah, that's true. So what you're saying is that, you know, harassment in gaming affects women outside of gaming as well.
Definitely. So the thing is that, again, none of us exist in a bubble, right? Even if you're not a gamer, think about it this way. There are still spaces that exist in which harassment is not just accepted, it's the norm. This is what women have to go through all the time. I find it extremely disturbing that this is the sort of behavior that people expect all the time when they log into their computers. And the bottom line is that
AdmiralBulldog, I'm
we're not
reaching
gonna
out
have
to
full
you to tell you that the
equality until
harassment you've been doing to me over the years is not okay. You need to think about your actions and change your behavior.
women are treated equally
We shouldn't done
in
the
their
lolly stuff,
professional
Arch, then.
lives, their personal lives, and their online lives.
Yeah, and it's not about any special treatment, it's just about being treated equally.
That's all we're asking for.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Paloma. We really appreciate it. And that's right, guys. This is a really important message, and anyone can show support by sharing the campaign, changing their profile picture, getting the message out there that harassment in gaming is just not okay. And the more we can raise for the awareness of the problem, the larger impact we can have.
Now, it's been
I
an
agree.
amazing day today, and we've launched our global tool, which fought bullies and in-game harassment. Here are some bully hunt highlights from today. Cue highlights, please.
Bitch, I know where you live. I'm gonna find you and I'm gonna rape you.
It's the same guy.
You stupid gamer whore bitch.
Now, before we wrap up, let's see what people were saying on
harassment of all kinds in the future.
Wait, did they edit it out because they were being made fun
Let's
of?
see what people were saying on
harassment of all kinds in the future.
Yikes.
Okay, and we have another one here. Okay, now, aren't you just bullying the bullies? Now, no, bully hunters aren't bullying the bullies. We will not incite or encourage additional harassment or abuse. The bully hunters will only engage with other harassers through gameplay and will eliminate them from the game using their skills and talent, not harassment. Now, we've done so much today.
Please, Gaben, give us a decent man. I don't care if it's a little bit unfavored. Just don't give us 4 immortals.
That's the
Dude.
same.
Your turn to ban.
It's fucking possible! It's not only there's 3 immortal, they have a divine and an ancient.
5 seconds remaining.
They're all.
But the fight isn't over.
Yeah.
Okay.
Please go to Bully Hunter.
So now if we get them, there's an easy for matchmaking to give us 2 immortals, or like at least a divine and an immortal, if we get them again. Min middlewise, Sika Bliat. Okay, it's the same.
Good to know.
Seconds remaining.
Wait, no, is it? No, that's us. Wait, what's going on here? No, what the fuck's going on? Is it the same?
What position do you want, Yellow?
gonna do timber again without pretending.
I'd go 3 or 4 then.
Be good.
Hunters.org.
choose.
Use our global tool, become a hunter, call a hunter, show your
I can
support.
do 5 orange if you want
Sharing
offline
by sharing a
horrors.
message, you know, just stand up for what's right here. Together we can really make an impact and end in-game harassment. So thank you for watching.
Feel serious.
Giling-giling, hayaan yung mata nila ay